Welcome back to another life-changing book summary on this channel. If you're someone who truly wants to grow in life, become successful, and unlock your real potential, but sometimes feel stuck or discouraged, then stay with me till the end of this video. Because today, we're diving deep into one of my all-time favorite books, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success, by Carol S. Dwek. Now let me tell you something personal. This book didn't just give me ideas, it changed the way I think about myself, my failures, and my future. And after reading it, I realized one powerful truth. Your mindset decides your future. Yes, not your background, not your money, not even your talent, but your mindset. Why is this book so powerful? This book is not just some theory. It's based on real research, experiments, and years of scientific study by the author, Carol S. Dwek, a world-famous psychologist from Stanford University. This book has been praised by the New York Times and the Washington Post. It has helped millions of people, from students to athletes, from parents to business leaders, understand this simple but powerful idea. If you believe you can grow, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. So before we begin, if you want more powerful, easy to understand book summaries that improve your English and your life, subscribe to our channel now and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next life-changing video. This book has 8 powerful chapters that I'll explain in detail, one by one. As you listen, you won't just learn about mindset, you'll also improve your so. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mindsets, Explained in Simple Words. In this chapter, the author introduces the 2 types of mindsets. Fixed mindset. I'm born like this. I can't change. People with a fixed mindset believe that their intelligence, talent, and abilities are fixed. They think, either I'm smart or I'm not. They believe, if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. So they try to avoid challenges because they are afraid of looking stupid or failing. Let's take an example. Imagine a student named Alex. He gets low marks in maths. If Alex has a fixed mindset, he will say, I'm just not good at maths. No matter what I do, I'll fail. Others are naturally smart. I'm not. So what happens? He stops trying. He gives up. He never improves. Growth mindset. I can learn anything with effort. Now let's imagine another student, Lily. She also got low marks in maths, but Lily has a growth mindset. She says, okay, I didn't do well this time, but I can improve. If I practice more, I can get better. I may not understand it yet, but I will. So, what happens? Lily studies, asks for help, practices every day, and finally, she improves. Her marks get better, her confidence grows, and she starts loving learning. Carol Dweck did an experiment with school children. She gave them puzzles to solve. After the first round, she praised one group for being smart. She said, "You're so intelligent." This group started developing a fixed mindset. She praised the second group for effort. She said, "You worked really hard on that puzzle." This group developed a growth mindset. Then she gave both groups harder puzzles. Guess what? The smart group got scared. They didn't want to try the harder ones. They thought, If I fail, people will think I'm not smart. The effort group was excited. They wanted to learn and grow, even if the puzzle was hard. In the end, the effort group performed better. They improved. They enjoyed the process. Why? Because they believed they could learn. That belief gave them power. So, what does this mean for us? Most of us are like Alex in some part of life, maybe in English, maybe in public speaking, maybe in business or relationships. We say things like, I can't speak English. I'm too old to learn. I'll always fail in interviews. I'm not confident. These are all signs of a fixed mindset. But what if we start thinking like Lily? I don't speak English well yet, but I can improve. With practice, I can do better. Every failure is a step toward growth. That is a growth mindset, and it changes everything. Carol Dwek says, believing that your qualities are changeable gives you a path to growth. It gives you the power to keep going even when life is hard. This is why she says your mindset is more important than your talent, more than your school, more than your background, because even a genius with a fixed mindset can fail. But an ordinary person with a growth mindset can become unstoppable. Simple tip you can use today. From now on, whenever you say, I can't do this, just add one word, yet. I can't speak English yet. I don't understand this yet. I'm not confident yet. This small change can make a big difference because it opens the door in your brain. It tells your mind, keep trying, you can grow. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets. This chapter goes deeper into the two types of mindsets we learned about in Chapter 1, fixed mindset and growth mindset. Now, the author helps us understand what happens inside the mind of a person who has each mindset. She takes us into the thoughts, emotions, reactions, and decisions that come from each mindset, and how those things slowly build our future, often without us even realizing it. Let's break it down in a clear and powerful way. 1. The voice inside your head. The author says, everyone has an inner voice. That voice speaks when you try something new, when you succeed, when you fail. And depending on your mindset, that voice says very different things. Let's take an example. Imagine you are learning English. You try to speak and you make a mistake. Here's what the fixed mindset voice says. You're not good at this. You're going to embarrass yourself. Stop trying. People will laugh. Now, let's hear the growth mindset voice. It's okay. You're learning. Mistakes are part of progress. You can do better next time. Keep going. See the difference? The words inside your head can either pull you down or push you forward. And that voice comes from your mindset. 2. What success means in each mindset. Now let's look at how each mindset defines success. For someone with a fixed mindset, success means proving you're smart. It's about showing people, look, I'm talented, I'm better. These people always want to win, be perfect, and look smart. But for someone with a growth mindset, success means learning and improving. It's not about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Imagine a boy named Nick who sings well. If he has a fixed mindset, he will always choose easy songs because he wants people to clap. He will avoid difficult songs because if he messes up, he'll feel like a failure. But if Nick has a growth mindset, he will try hard songs, even if he makes mistakes, because for him, success is about growing as a singer. 3. What failure means in each mindset. This is a big one. How do people react to failure? People with a fixed mindset take failure personally. They think, I'm not good enough. This proves I'll never succeed. I should quit before I fail again. But people with a growth mindset see failure as feedback. They think, this is a lesson. Now I know where I need to improve. Next time I'll do better. The author tells a story of a young boy who failed a math test. His reaction? He smiled and said, I love a challenge. This child had a growth mindset. He wasn't afraid of the test. He was excited to learn from it. That's the power of having the right attitude. 4. Effort, weakness or strength. This is one of the most important lessons in Chapter 2. People with a fixed mindset think that effort is a sign of weakness. They believe, if I were really smart or talented, I wouldn't have to try. So if they have to work hard, they feel ashamed. But people with a growth mindset understand the truth. Effort is what makes me better. Effort is how I grow. Even geniuses need to work hard. If you struggle with grammar, vocabulary, or speaking fluently, the fixed mindset says, this is not for me. I'm not born for this. I'll never get it. But the growth mindset says, every minute I practice makes me stronger. It's okay to be slow. Just don't stop. Fluency comes with consistent effort. This mindset gives you freedom from shame and the power to improve. 5. How mindset affects relationships. This chapter also shows how mindset doesn't just affect school or work. It affects relationships too. People with a fixed mindset want to look perfect in front of others. They hide their weaknesses. They think that if someone criticizes them, it means they are not lovable. In relationships, they avoid hard conversations, fear rejection, and get jealous easily. But people with a growth mindset believe, I can become a better partner. I can learn from mistakes in relationships. Growth is possible in love too. They are open to feedback. They can say sorry and grow. They know that real love is about learning and improving together. 6. Mindset shapes your identity. Carol Dwek says, the mindset you choose becomes your identity, who you believe you are. If you choose a fixed mindset, you're always under pressure. I must always win. I must always look smart. I must never fail. That mindset creates fear, anxiety, and low confidence. But if you choose a growth mindset, your identity becomes stronger. I'm a learner. I'm a fighter. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving. This mindset gives you peace, power, and passion. Carol Dweck reminds us, just because some people can do something with little or no training, it doesn't mean others can't do it. And sometimes do it even better with training. This means you don't need to be born great. You just need to keep learning, growing, and believing. Chapter 3. The Truth About Ability and Accomplishment. In this chapter, the author takes a microscope and examines what ability really means. Most people think ability is something we are born with, like a gift. But Dr. Carol Dweck shows us that what we believe about our abilities can shape how much we actually achieve in life. Let's go deep. First, natural talent versus effort. Most people think successful individuals are gifted or naturally talented. She's just good at math. He was born to play football. They're lucky they have talent. But the author says this idea is dangerous. When we believe that talent is everything, we stop trying. We believe that if we fail once, we'll never be good. But here's the truth. Effort is what turns potential into success. Imagine a girl named Jasmine. She's not good at science in school. Everyone says she's just not the science type. But Jasmine refuses to believe that. She starts studying 1 hour every day. She asks questions. She watches videos. She fails sometimes, but she keeps going. After 3 months, her marks improve. After 1 year, she's winning science competitions. Was she born talented? Number. She created ability through effort. That's the growth mindset, the power of belief. The author says that many students believe their intelligence is fixed. They think, I'm either smart or dumb. I can't change my brain. If I fail, it means I'm not smart. But scientists have proven the brain can grow. Intelligence can be developed. The more you challenge it, the stronger it becomes, just like muscles. In one study, students were divided into 2 groups. Group A learned how the brain grows with effort. Group B didn't learn anything new. After a few weeks, Group A showed big improvements in math and reading. Group B did not. Why? Because Group A believed that they could improve, so they did. 3. The danger of praise. This part is so powerful, especially for teachers and parents. We all love to praise kids, but how we praise them can make a huge difference. Let's understand. When you praise a child by saying, "You're so smart," it creates a fixed mindset. The child starts thinking, "I must always look smart. I must not fail." But when you praise a child by saying, "I'm proud of how hard you worked," it creates a growth mindset. The child learns, success comes from effort. I can grow. A boy draws a nice picture. If you say, "Wow, you're a born artist," he might fear trying harder drawings. But if you say, "Wow, you really focused and took your time. That's great effort," he'll be motivated to try even more complex art. Praise the process, not the person. 4. Learning goals versus performance goals. This is another deep concept. Performance goals mean, I want to look smart. I want to win. I want people to praise me. People with performance goals avoid hard tasks because they fear failure. Learning goals mean, I want to improve. I want to understand. I want to grow. People with learning goals welcome challenges, even if they fail. 2 boys are preparing for an English speech contest. A man chooses a simple topic because he wants to win. Zed chooses a tough topic because he wants to learn. Aman wins a small trophy. Zed doesn't win this time, but he gains confidence, deeper knowledge, and next time, he wins a bigger stage. That's the power of learning goals. 5. struggle builds. Strength Dwek tells us, people with a growth mindset are not afraid of struggle. They understand that the best learning happens in difficulty. You're trying to learn English. You feel embarrassed when speaking. You forget words. You make mistakes. That struggle is not weakness. It is strength training for your brain. Every mistake is like a gym session for your mind. If you keep going, your confidence, fluency, and vocabulary will grow. Pain becomes power. Chapter 4. Sports. The mindset of a champion. This chapter focuses on the world of sports, where talent, pressure, failure, and mindset all meet. Dr. Dwek studied top athletes and found that it's not talent alone that creates champions. It's their mindset. Let's explore. 1. The myth of the natural. In sports, people love to talk about natural talent. He's a born cricketer. She has a gift for tennis. He didn't even practice, and he won. But Carol Dweck proves that most champions are not naturals. They are people who worked harder, practiced smarter, and kept improving, even when they lost. She studied Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, and others. The truth: Michael Jordan was cut from his school basketball team. Muhammad Ali wasn't the strongest boxer, but he trained like a beast. Serena Williams practiced harder than anyone else, even when she was already winning. They weren't born champions. They became champions. 2. What champions do differently. Here's what people with a growth mindset do in sports. They train consistently, even when they don't feel like it. They study their weaknesses and work on them. They welcome coaching and feedback. They love challenges and never fear losing. People with a fixed mindset, on the other hand, avoid hard training, hide their mistakes, blame others when they lose, fear looking bad more than they love winning. Which one will become a real champion? The answer is obvious. 3. Losing is not the end. In sports, everyone loses, even the best. But how they respond to losing shows their mindset. People with a fixed mindset say, "I'm not good enough. That loss proves I can't make it. I'll never try again." People with a growth mindset say, "What can I learn from this? How can I train better next time? Every great player has lost. I'm not done yet." Imagine two runners. They both lose a race. One cries and quits. The other watches the race video, sees what went wrong, and goes back to training with more hunger. In 6 months, who's more likely to win? Losing is not the opposite of winning. It's the path to it. The role of coaches and parents. Dweck says, a coach or parent can make or break a young athlete. If they say things like, "You're the best. Don't let anyone beat you. You're the star." They are teaching a fixed mindset. The child will fear losing that status. But if they say, "Let's work on your weaknesses. It's okay to lose, but never stop learning. Effort is more important than talent," they are building a growth mindset. That child will keep growing. Win or loss. 5. Real champions stay humble. One of the most powerful parts of this chapter is when the author shows how real champions are humble. They never say, "I'm the best." They say, "I still have a lot to learn." A famous footballer wins Player of the Year and is asked how he feels. He says, "I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied." I made some mistakes this season. I'll train harder next year. That's the mindset of a champion. They are not focused on fame. They are focused on improvement. Chapter 5. Business, Mindset, and Leadership. Business is not just about numbers, charts, or products. It's about people. At the heart of every business, every successful company, there are leaders. These leaders are not just guiding others. They are setting the tone, the mindset, and the future of the organization. Dwek says that the mindset of a leader can build or break a company. The problem with fixed mindset leaders. Imagine a boss who believes that intelligence and talent are fixed, that people are either smart or they're not, good or bad, winners or losers. This boss is always worried about their own image. They don't accept feedback. They don't like when people question their ideas. Why? Because in their mind, being wrong means they are not good enough. This kind of leader surrounds themselves with people who agree with them. They avoid people who bring new ideas or challenges. They hide mistakes. They blame others. Their goal is not to grow the company, but to protect their ego. Now think about a company where no one can speak freely. No one is allowed to make mistakes. No one learns anything new. What will happen? That company will slowly die. No innovation, no growth, just fear. This is what happens when leaders operate with a fixed mindset. The power of growth mindset leaders. Now let's look at a completely different kind of leader. A growth mindset leader believes people can improve. They believe that even the smartest person in the room still has something to learn. These leaders welcome feedback, even if it's uncomfortable. They don't want blind followers. They want thinkers. They want problem solvers. They want learners. Celebrate effort, not just talent. They know that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Such leaders create workplaces where people are not scared to try. They're not afraid to speak up. Everyone in the company feels like they can grow. That's when a company becomes creative, bold, and unstoppable. Let's say there's a company struggling with new competition. A fixed mindset leader will say, "We've always done it this way. Our team is not good enough to change. We'll never beat them." They panic. They cut corners. They blame the market. But a growth mindset leader will say, "Okay, this is hard, but we can learn. Let's talk to the team. Let's learn from the competition. Let's try something new." That mindset can turn crisis into opportunity. And this doesn't just apply to big companies. Even a small business, a shop owner, a freelancer, a content creator, can succeed or fail based on their mindset. The message for you. If you're someone who dreams of building something, a business, a YouTube channel, a brand, remember this. Don't focus on how talented you are. Focus on how much you're willing to learn. Don't protect your image. Protect your ability to grow. Great leaders are not born. They are made through challenges, through feedback, and through a powerful, flexible mindset. Chapter 6. Relationships. Mindsets in Love. Let's move on to the next chapter. It's very close to our hearts. Relationships. Whether it's love, friendship, or family, our mindset shapes how we treat others, how we handle problems, and how we grow together. Carol Dweck gives us a simple but deep truth. Your mindset doesn't just affect you, it affects your relationships. Fixed mindset in relationships. People with fixed mindsets often believe in destiny. They think, if this relationship is meant to be, it will be perfect. We won't have to try hard. They should understand me without me saying anything. And if there's a problem, it means we're not right for each other. This belief is dangerous. Why? Because the moment something goes wrong, a fight, a misunderstanding, they want to give up. They feel hurt, they feel rejected, and they feel stuck. Fixed mindset people also think that if someone disagrees with them or criticizes them, it's a personal attack. They take everything emotionally. They don't try to understand the other person's side. They want to be right, not to understand. This mindset creates drama, fights, distance, and sometimes even heartbreak. Growth mindset in relationships. On the other hand, people with growth mindsets believe that relationships are built. They know that no one is perfect. They know that love takes effort. They know that if something is wrong, we can talk, we can change, and we can grow. They welcome honest conversations. They're not afraid to admit when they're wrong. They ask questions like, "What can I do better? How can we fix this? What are you feeling?" They don't give up easily. They don't expect magic. They build connection through patience, empathy, and effort. Let's say a couple is going through a hard time. One partner lost a job, the other is feeling stressed. A fixed mindset couple might start blaming each other. "You're always failing. You never support me." The love fades, but a growth mindset couple sits together and says, "This is hard, but we're in this together. Let's make a plan. Let's be each other's support." One mindset leads to broken hearts. The other builds unshakable bonds. This mindset works in every relationship. In friendships, if you're jealous of your friend's success, you have a fixed mindset. But if you feel happy for them and inspired to grow, that's a growth mindset. With family, when problems come, a growth mindset says, "Let's listen, let's heal, let's grow together." Why this matters. Relationships are the most important part of our lives. Without love, without support, life feels empty. But strong relationships don't happen by luck. They happen by mindset. If you want deep love, strong friendships, and real connection, choose a mindset that listens, learns, forgives, and grows. Chapter 7. Parents, Teachers, and Coaches. Where do mindsets come from? Let's take a moment to breathe. This chapter is deep. It's not just about theory, it's about real lives. It's about how our mindsets are shaped, especially during childhood, by the people who have the greatest influence: parents, teachers, and coaches. If you are a parent, a future parent, a teacher, or someone who helps others grow, this chapter is a mirror. It will show you how much power you hold to shape someone's life. Children are not born with a fixed or growth mindset. Here's the truth. No baby is born with the belief "I can't grow" or "I'm not smart." They are born curious. They fall while learning to walk, but they get up again and again. But slowly, because of what they hear, what they see, and what they're told, they develop either a fixed or growth mindset. Many parents think praising their child with words like, "You're so smart," or "You're a genius," is helpful. But Carol Dweck's research shows that this kind of praise actually builds a fixed mindset. Why? Because now the child feels pressure. If I'm smart, I must always succeed. If I fail, it means I'm not smart anymore. So they stop taking risks. They avoid challenges. They fear mistakes. But when a parent or teacher says, "You worked so hard on this," or "I'm proud of the effort you gave," that child learns that success comes from trying, from learning, from growing. That child develops a growth mindset and becomes unstoppable. Labels like the smart one, the athletic one, the shy one, the problem child, these stick. And once stuck, they become identities. A child labeled as bad at math may never even try again. Not because they can't, but because they believe they can't. But when you remove labels and show kids that every skill can be developed, they start believing, "I may not be good yet, but I can be." In sports, some coaches only focus on the talented players. They ignore the ones who need more time. But the best coaches believe that every player can improve. They don't just shout at mistakes. They teach. They encourage. They show that greatness is earned, not given. And the result? Players feel safe to fail. They take bold steps. They grow faster. Or in a classroom, growth mindset leaders don't just produce winners, they produce learners for life. One story Carol shares is about a student who was labeled slow by his teachers. He had been held back in school and felt like a failure. But one teacher changed everything. She didn't tell him he was smart. She showed him how to work hard, how to ask questions, how to keep going when it was hard. Years later, that same boy became a successful lawyer. That's the power of one adult with a growth mindset. If you're a parent, teacher, coach, or even just an older sibling, your words matter. Your reactions matter. You can give a child fear or freedom, doubt or courage, limitation or limitless hope. Choose your words wisely because you're not just raising a child. You're shaping their mindset. And through that, you shape their future. Chapter 8. Changing Mindsets. A journey begins. And now the final chapter, the most important chapter, because this is where the book meets your life. You've learned about fixed and growth mindsets. You've seen the science. You've heard the stories. But now the real question is, can mindsets be changed? The answer is powerful. Yes, absolutely. It's never too late. Many people think, "I've always been this way. I've always feared failure. I can't change now." But Carol Dweck says, mindsets are not permanent. They are patterns, and patterns can be rewritten. People of every age, even 60, 70, 80 years old, have changed their mindset and transformed their lives. It starts with awareness. It grows with practice. It becomes a habit. And then, a lifestyle. We all have that voice in our head. When you face something hard, it says, "You're not good at this. You'll never succeed. Everyone will laugh at you. You'll look stupid." That voice comes from your fixed mindset. But here's the magic. You can answer it. You can say, "Maybe I'm not good yet, but I can learn. Every master was once a beginner. Failure means I'm trying, and trying means I'm learning. That's how transformation begins. Small steps, big shifts. You don't have to wake up tomorrow as a totally new person. You only need to take one step each day. Learn something new and celebrate effort. Try something hard without fear. Replace I can't with I can't yet. Encourage someone else to grow. These small mindset shifts compound over time. Like drops of water carving stone, your brain begins to rewire itself. Let's take a few real-life situations. Job rejection. A fixed mindset says, I'm not good enough. A growth mindset says, what can I learn? How can I improve? Public speaking. A fixed mindset says, I'll embarrass myself. A growth mindset says, if I practice, I'll get better. Starting a YouTube channel, a fixed mindset says, what if no one watches? A growth mindset says, every creator started from zero. Which mindset will you choose? Help others grow. Changing your mindset is not just about your life. Once you shift, you become a light for others, your children, your friends, your audience. Everyone you touch starts to believe in growth because they see it in you. And when one person changes, it creates a ripple effect. One growth mindset can light up a family, a school, a company, even a community. The book ends with this message. Mindsets are not labels, they are doors. You can open the door to your true potential. You can become more resilient, more powerful, more free. You can fail and rise. You can grow beyond fear. You can become the person you always dreamed of being, not through talent, but through effort, learning, and an unshakable belief that you can change. This book is not just about psychology. It's about hope. It's about power. It's about your story. So take this message, share it, live it. Your journey begins now. And that was The Journey Through Mindset by Carol Dwek, a book that reminds us that we are not stuck, we are not finished, and we are not limited. Every challenge, every failure, and every success is simply a step in the process of growth. If there's one thing to remember, it's this. You are capable of more than you think. Your future is not written in your genes. It's written in your mindset. So, no matter where you are right now in life, keep learning, keep growing, and never give up on the person you're becoming. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, inspired you, or made you think differently, even a little, then I've done my job. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, keep that growth mindset alive.